of the video that I'm making this evening is to try and get comfortable talking to a camera. It's kind of an unnatural feeling, I think, for most people, and I think there are a lot of things that I'd like to video, but just not being comfortable in that space makes it hard to get the content that I'd like. So we're gonna have a go, and I thought as a way to practice this evening, we'll go for a bit of a drive, and I thought I'll talk a little bit about my ownership of Subarus over the last sort of 10 years. I've been driving since I was 19, earlier than that, but bought my first car when I was 19. That was a 1994 TSR Legacy automatic 2-litre, oil leaks everywhere. I knew absolutely nothing about cars, but I had a flatmate who had a 1996 Impreza 2-litre 2-litre manual non-turbo, and he had a little sports muffler on it, and going for a drive in one of those, even though it was a non-turbo, I was just hooked. The sound has just always been a thing I enjoy about these cars. So yeah, that led me to getting my 1994 TSR, non-turbo, auto, full of oil leaks. Terrible decision as a 19-year-old student, especially buying it with a student overdraft. But it was a lot of fun, and I had no issues with it. It was super reliable for the year or two that I had it. After that, it was really chasing something that was manual and moving into something with a turbo as well. I had a couple of mates that had quite nice WRX STIs at the time. This is like 2012, 2013. Managed to find a really tidy 2000 GTB E-Tune Legacy. It was twin turbo. The engine had around 100,000 Ks on it, so it was pretty healthy. And I picked that up by being further irresponsible, and that was to take out a small student level loan with the bank to get that one. I think I paid about $5,000, so it was a good car. It was reasonably priced back then, and had that for 2, maybe 3 years, I think. Did a few things to it. It came on lowering springs and bits and pieces. I put some version 7 STI seats in it, put some other aftermarket rims, tyres, that sort of stuff, and just first turbo car, a lot of fun, really enjoyed it. After that, I found a really tidy 2004 STI Forester, the SG9 chassis. So it was pre-facelift, 2.5 litre VF48 Turbo, Brembo brakes, 6-speed box. It was as close to the dream car as I was going to get, which was always a WRX, and it had all the good WRX bits, but obviously with a bit more space in the back, which was cool for our lifestyle at the time. Realised that was a lot of money to have sitting in the driveway, and decided to backtrack. Got a 2004 3-litre with a BZ30R in it. It was like a fresh import into New Zealand at the time, so quite low Ks. They were really cheap to buy back then, so 2015-ish at this point, 2016. And it was an auto, it wasn't anything exciting, but it was just super smooth, a lot of power for the money, and it was just a really nice car to cruise on. Around that time, I ended up buying a 1997 GTB, the BG5 chassis in World Rally Blue. That was steel. I had a couple of issues with it, and I dropped the gearbox out of it, replaced the clutch. Had a code 66 for the twin turbo system, found a massive exhaust leak in the headers, so sorted that out, got it back on the road, and that was a really cool car to have. It had a lot of cool STI accessories, STI pink springs. It had little different bits of trim and that sort of stuff, some hard to find parts. Ended up selling it though. Yeah, so I kept a 3-litre, sold that GT, kind of tidied it up and flipped it, I guess. My wife bought a 2005 Forester, non-turbo. That got stolen within a month, pretty standard. Then I sold the 3-litre and bought back the same GTB, the year 2001 that I'd owned a few years earlier. After that, moved cities. We had an 06 Legacy GT, which was really nice. Had pedal shift, it wasn't the manual, but we had one car and my wife doesn't drive manuals, which is fine. And yeah, soon after that, upgraded to a 2016 Outback, And that kind of brings us to where we are today. I needed a second car for work. Had a 2002 Bugeye Impreza, and a couple of years after that decided I really wanted to push and try and get myself into one of these, which has kind of been my dream car for the last 12 years. Managed to track one down that was reasonably priced. It's not super tidy, but it's definitely tidy enough. Yeah, this is kind of us. So we've got the late model Outback, we've got this which lives in the garage, and I've also got a 2005 Outback, which I'm sort of in the process of lifting and setting up to be a bit more off-road orientated. I haven't really been this way, I'm just chasing some new back roads. And yeah, and then a GT Legacy that I picked up with a friend for a few $100 that we're slowly tidying up to turn into kind of a track car to have a play with and see what we can do in that space, which is pretty exciting. But yeah, that's a really rough, unplanned chat on the number of Subarus I've had. I think it tallied out at like 12, 13, but the same car twice. That was kind of it. But yeah, I guess the only other thing I want to do tonight is slap the GoPro back on, do a POV style video, because that always seems to go down well. I've got the mics on, so we should get some reasonable quality audio out of it. So I'm going to pull over, put the GoPro on, and we will check back in shortly. This is kind of the POV setup I've been using. So it's just a GoPro on a cap, on the cap mounted upside down. Doesn't seem to inhibit my vision at all. It might look like it does, but it sits above my eye line, so I can just see the top of it, or the bottom of it coming down. I haven't tried with the Osmo on the windscreen, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we're just going to go for a drive to the end of this road, and then we'll turn around. We'll try and do some other shots with the other camera, and we'll go from there.